we spot two penguins, Red and Fred. They seem to be carefully working together to climb this mountain. Make sure to be careful because this can be... That is embarrassing. Look at them using...
Trading just got a whole lot simpler. I'm about ready to show you how to unleash the power of Fibonacci. If you're trading loss after loss after loss, you're probably asking yourself why you can't get your trades to work for you. The fact of the matter is, making trading decisions based off guesswork or emotions is not going to get you where you want to be. What you really need is a roadmap to follow that shows you how to confidently place trades. Well, the good news is that is exactly what I want to share with you today. We have put together a completely free Power Fibonacci checklist that aims to help making trading simpler so you can plan your trades better. Now, you probably already know Fibonacci is a time-tested strategy that's used to help try and predict the trends. But with this checklist in your hands, you'll know how to trade the Power Fibonacci. Click the link right now and you'll get access to this straight away. But in just a second, I'm going to show you how transformative this checklist really is. Hi, I'm Tyson Clayton, lead market analyst at Market Traders Institute. I've been in the game for over 20 years. I have a broad experience as a trader and an educator. I've seen firsthand that top traders use Fibonacci's to predict successful trades time and time again. And I want to show you how you can harness the power of Fibonacci's too. And that's exactly why I've developed this pre-trading checklist that's so intuitive, even a complete amateur could learn how to do it. Our Fibonacci checklist shows you how to identify trend lines, evaluate your trades, and even plan your exits, so you'll know how to confidently trade using the power of Fibonacci. Plus, we'll also introduce you to this revolutionary smart trader tool that our traders use to help make smarter, not harder decisions. Because there's more to life than staring at your screens and analyzing charts all day. I truly want to give you the opportunity to potentially make smart, simple, and successful trades. I genuinely believe that this trading guide could help you do just that. And you don't have to take my word for it. All you need to do is ask any one of our traders at MTI, and they'll tell you what I'm sharing with you today is still their go-to when planning trades. So if you're ready to learn to trade your way and get the life that you've dreamed of, click the link right now and download your free Fibonacci checklist. But of course, if you're happy to continue relying on guesswork or emotions when placing trades, then feel free to skip this ad right now. The choice is yours. I'll give you a few seconds to think about it.
say more money, more problems. They say more money, more problems. Bring on the problems.
Hey everybody, welcome to Trading Capital's daily live stream of the market open. Today we'll be guiding you through the market action. In terms of what's transpiring today, we're seeing the dollar slightly up on the session, but the indices are up off of the lows. So we're seeing a little bit of strength. However, there is some weakness in a couple healthcare names like ISRG. There was a pretty big drop, pre-market drop. ISRG dropped 8.2%. I'm not aware as to why it dropped at the moment, but if we see continued weakness in healthcare, that could be a bit of a headwind for the market. And if we also see the semis come down, that could also be an additional headwind for the market. But right now, tech is up as well as energy. Oil's catching a nice little bit off the lows. You have the likes of Exxon slightly up. Natural gas is slightly up, but pulling off of the highs as we speak. So we're just going to keep scanning through to see if there's any potential opportunities. Obviously, on the intro chart, you'll be able to see some of the pre-market movers via the trading view screen. So again, Bed Bath Beyond, these meme stocks are basically trading up. You also have Party City up again. We're just scanning through to see if there's any potential opportunities at the moment.
On that side about balancing the budget, give me a break.
Debt ceiling showdown looming in Washington. The team at Barclays warning of a difficult road ahead, writing raising the debt limit could be messier than last week's House Speaker vote. Although the ex-date is still months away, the Treasury's efforts to preserve its cash and borrowing authority has already begun. This coming as Secretary Yellen is reported to be keeping her post at the Treasury Department. Josh Wingrove behind that report. He joins us now from DC. Hey Josh, I know you've got a late night, so thanks for being with us early this morning. Let's just go straight to it. What have you learned about Secretary Yellen's future?
Yeah, Jonathan, there was lots of speculation late last year about, so will she or won't she? The Biden administration has been preparing for change in its cabinet. It hasn't had it.
So yeah, if we pull up something like the ISRG, this might be a long play today. So we're putting a ticker on your radar, ISRG. You can see it's had a massive move up yesterday, and it's actually trading down in the pre-market at 255.12. So if we take a look at where 255.12 is, you can see on the pre-market it's had a significant drop. Now the low is at 249.08, give or take. Let me see if I can isolate down a level for us. Basically, there is a strong potential level at 245.26 for a long play. I'll just put that in on the chart. Around this level in here is going to be our long zone. And then you have an additional technical gap pivot down there. So the low again was around 249, so it basically came around here in the pre-market. So if we're looking for a flush into this day trade level here, that might be a decent level to potentially go long. Now let's just keep in mind that on the intraday chart, you clearly have this level here, which looks to be breaking substantially now, being the fact that you're trading under that significant technical support. So if ISRG, and this has been a market leader as well, so if we see continued market leaders breaking down, that certainly could be a near-term problem for the markets. So just scrolling through some charts as well, we're also seeing ABEV down 3.62%. So that's another market leader. AZN is down, Boeing is up, Alibaba's slightly off the highs, Caterpillar's up, Costco's slightly up, CSX is up, the Dow is slightly up as well. You have some movement in Europe, Stocks 50 is up, Freeport McMoran is just slightly positive on the session. So yeah, looking like the strength is coming from the energy side, a little bit of tech, somewhat in the banking sector as well, and then the Dow components. The Dow components are remaining relatively strong. They should be carrying this market higher today, unless the semis and tech really start to give it up. Right now there's a little bit of a struggle going on with the dollar, lots of interesting action. You have a stock leader like Merck, which is down today. So it's always key to pay attention to the market leading stocks, the stocks that have made terrific moves off of the lows and into this rally. It's always key to pay attention to those leaders, because as soon as you start seeing money rotate out of those leading stocks, it usually means that there could be a potential leg down. Now obviously with the price action today is ahead of the CPI reading, so maybe a little bit of fear creeps late into the market, but it's really going to be dependent on what the yields in the dollar do. But I'm anticipating perhaps a little bit of hedging occurring at the end of the day heading into CPI, maybe also some late day selling. Flipping back to the SPY here. The SPY is still trading up, bubbling up against resistance. Natural gas is up about 2% so far, so that's good to see. A little bit of strength in Walmart. And China is basically flat at the moment. And then we also got some major news that the FAA grounded all flights. So let's just pull up some of the potential airline stocks just to see if we can see any potential opportunities there. So airlines, so we can look at DAL, Delta. Delta's really just slightly down on the session, but not too much. We can look at Air Canada, which I'll pull up the daily. Air Canada, no pre-market data yet. Let's flip to the 8-hour, 4-hour, just in case. We can look at Love. Love's another market mover. That's trading just off the highs. You can look at the Jets ETF as a whole. Jets ETF is just trading 15 cents off of the highs. United, let's take a look, just trading off of the highs. So not too much downside considering the pretty big announcement from the FAA. So we got about 8 minutes left till the market open. Right now there's only really one potential long trade on the books for us. That is ISRG, but it is catching a pretty significant bounce. I mean, it's trading over 4% off of the lows, so that trade would have to come down substantially more in order for us to basically get involved in that trade. I'm just scrolling through right now. You still have the SPY trading off the highs up on the session. Today Coinbase got downgraded again near the lows of the chart. Almost makes you want to buy it. Bitcoin right now is just trading off of the highs.
Here's three. One from JP Morgan downgrading CarMax to underweight, $60 price target, citing unfavorable
quiet
risk reward
market session
following
today.
recent
Not a whole lot of
outperformance.
stocks are
That's
making
down by
moves.
6%. BofA, Bank of America downgrading Coinbase to underperform.
Really, ISRG is the only one that's in play, and potentially EVGO. EVGO, this is a lighter stock.
$40 price target, seeing operational risk in a transition year for airlines. That stock's down 1.8%. Coming up, the latest on the airlines and optimism brewing outside of the United States. So Monday's Monica Defen seeing a better risk scenario.
Couple trades that we may get a short on is UAL. We'll keep UAL on the radar, and maybe WBD. Warner Bros. Discovery is trading up on the session, but it needs to push up a little bit more in order for me to get comfortable with a short.
Everyone you meet in Port Harcourt has...
So Apple's starting to come down in the pre-market, just slightly, but Microsoft's popping, so it really canceling each other out. Interesting price action in Microsoft. Tesla's remaining strong. Spiders are pushing this morning. Spiders are pushing. The dollar is collapsing. Wow, the dollar is collapsing on the 10-minute basis. Trading at 103.20 now. So the market's catching a nice little bid based off of spider weakness. Wow. Nice little drop on the dollar. You wonder what's bringing that down. Just draw a trend line right there. Apple's still coming down in the after hours, but Microsoft's remaining strong. Markets are going to open in a minute. Here we go. Markets are open. So the SPY's up, DXY's down at the moment.
Look a little something like
no real trades yet.
4 or 5 basis points
that
on a 10-year at 357.42 to start the year. A rally at the front end, the 2-year. The yield lower through most of the year so far.
We have a potential short on Newmont.
In the face of some hawkish Fed speak. Let's see if we get more of that later this week after 6 p.m. tomorrow morning. In the FX market, euro dollar holding on to 107 and having a little look at 108, 107.68, up a third of 1%. And crude, look out for stockpiles data later, up 2% on crude. WTI 76.60. About 20 seconds into this, equities up by 0.5% on the S&P, and the Nasdaq up by 0.5% also. The number one sector to watch at the open, the airlines. FAA system outages disrupting US travel, flights now resuming, and airlines feeling the consequences. For more, let's get to Abby. Hey, Abby.
Hey, John. Well, not surprisingly, Southwest is feeling the pain the most.
I'm going to short Newmont, 53.44, 1/6 position, 53.44.
So today, of course, we have
short Newmont, 53.44. It's a 1/6 position. So gold's still trading at resistance. Microsoft's remaining strong. Nvidia's down on the session. So we're still short. Newmont 53.44. It's coming down a little bit. There's decent resistance. This is piercing the 200 MA. Piercing the 200 daily moving average. As gold is into resistance, the dollar's getting a little potential pop here as the SPY comes down. So we should see Newmont come down. Let's just see if there's any other potential opportunities. Right now you have Tesla up, Bed Bath Beyond, Apple's up on the session. You have the semis are down, so that's a potential leading indicator for this market, that semis are weak and falling, which may mean that this market could go lower. So Newmont, we're basically flat on the trade. Let's just see if there's any China opportunities. Nothing that I'm seeing at the moment. You have continued weakness in healthcare like ABBV, ISRG, both strong. BABA's dropping here. Newmont, we're still flat on the trade. 1/6 position. So for the Newmont trade, we're probably going to be looking for, we can squeeze out probably 45 cents to that technical gap fill. So I do think we see it come in over time. Let's just flip back to the gold chart. So NEM is the ticker. We're short at 53.44, 1/6. So we're slightly out of the money, but that's okay. Gap fill is probably our cover zone. So you're seeing some distribution occurring right now. Obviously we have the backdrop of gold up against us, but we're slightly in the money by 1 penny. Another potential short we're waiting for a little bit higher is SWBI, Smith & Wesson. We were long not so long ago, and now we are potentially going short SWBI, but let's just wait for a potential signal. Have not got the signal yet, so we're seeing a little bit of weakness in JP Morgan. China stocks are down on the session. UNG is actually dropping substantially, so that's interesting to see. So right now we are in the money, about 9 cents on our Newmont trade. I'm looking for more as the dollar's popping. This Newmont should come in. I'm looking at UNG for a potential trade as well. UNG may be an opportunity. But at the moment, probably going to look for UNG around the 1130, 1135 level. So right now the spiders are still trading near the highs. We can flip. ISRG is still coming down. Just got another alert. So we're still flat on Newmont. Pins is another potential short trade. I'm going to short pins with one more additional pop up into resistance. The dollar's popping, Newmont's popping. We're going to short pins at this 26.35 level, 26.35 level, 26.35 short pins. Newmont, we're still flat on the trade. We're short pins at 26.35, 26.35. 1/6 position. UNG still coming down. Newmont, we're slightly in the money. Pins were slightly in the money, basically flat on the trade. So Pins is still pushing. Pins is pushing a little bit higher. Newmont, we're in the money. You're still seeing the spiders push up, but it's coming into some decent resistance. There is decent resistance on the spiders occurring. So Pins is continuing to push up. Newmont's pushing up. Semis are catching a little bit of a bid now. The next add level to Pins will be this And we're going to short UAL. UAL. Let's just see if we can get a little bit of a better entry. One more push up. Newmont's coming in. I'm not filled on UAL. I want to get it higher than 46.18. So Newmont's coming in nicely on that trade. Let's take a look at UAL. So we're still out of money on Pinterest, just basically flat on the trade. 26.35 is our level. Newmont's coming in. We're still seeing weakness in China, but there's some mixed strength. So I did not get filled on UAL. I wanted it above 46.15, but it is pulling off the highs slightly. Let's take a look at Newmont. Newmont's coming in nicely. We're going to fill at that cover at around the 53 level on Newmont. So I'm just scanning for other trades at the moment. Pinterest, we're flat. Newmont's still trying to come in. Gold's pulling back slightly. The Dow is still positive. You're seeing weakness in AstraZeneca, some of the pharma names. Energy still remains strong. There's still some distribution potentially occurring in the semis. Spiders is seeing a little bit of resistance selling at this high here, but nothing crazy at the moment. Right now we still have a bunch of meme stocks that are up on the session. I'm shorting UAL here at 46.10. I did not get filled. But 46.10, I will be happy with that level, as we are seeing the spiders struggle to get higher. So Newmont, we're in the money nicely. Pinterest, we're still short at 1/6 position at 26.35. So we'll get ready to add to our Pinterest. We're just almost approaching the next add level. So I'm adding to my Pinterest short. Get ready. Waiting for a little push higher, 26.60. Anything over 26.60 is a good add level for pins. I'm not filled yet. Let's see if we can get a little bit higher. Alright, I added at 26.61. 26.61. Added to pin short. Newmont's still coming in. We're still could potentially get a little bit more. Spiders are making new highs of the day, so we could potentially see pins push more. So our average on pins right now is 26.47. 26.47. 26.47 is our average. We're slightly out of the money on pins, but that's okay. Newmont's still coming in nicely. That's surprising that gold's coming in as the dollar is coming in. That's interesting to see for sure. But we're short Newmont. Pins is still climbing. UAL, I have not been filled yet, but there's still that potential UAL trade approaching. Pins is still pushing up. Markets are rallying. SPY's still pushing new highs. I am short UAL at 46.14. 46.14. And this one I'm not afraid to hold overnight. Pins is still pushing. How's Newmont doing? Newmont's catching a small bid. That's okay though. China stocks are catching a little bit of a bid, but some of them are mixed. Microsoft's remaining strong on the session. Microsoft is into a potential short level, but I'm not doing it yet. Spiders are seeing some distribution now, trying to put in maybe a potential 10-minute topping till. We're still seeing Newmont coming down. We're nice in the money on Newmont. Basically over 36 cents. Tesla's doing well. Get ready to cover our Newmont here. We're nice in the money. We're going to try to squeeze a little bit more out. A little bit more on Newmont. Spiders are still trying to push up. Pins is still trying to push. UAL is pushing up. So get ready to cover Newmont. Newmont's coming in nicely. 53 is the level or lower on Newmont. UAL's pushing. Newmont's at 53.01. 53 I'm covering. 53 I'm covering. I'm out of Newmont for 44 cents win. Awesome job, guys. First one of the day is always good to get in the books. Covered Newmont. You can even cover it slightly lower, 1 penny lower. Pinterest is now coming in. This is a good level to add to potentially UAL short again. Let's add to our UAL. I'll let you know if I get filled. So far I have not I'm not filled. But anything above this 46.40 is a great add level. Nice job on that Newmont. It's still coming in. Smith & Wesson's another potential short trade, but that one is just a little bit too much. Look at that Newmont trade. Boom. Beautiful job, guys. Beautiful job. UAL's at 46.40. I'm adding to my short here, 46.41. Let's see if I get filled. Come on, fill me, fill me, fill me. My platform is really slow today. That's interesting. UAL I added at, I'm filled at 46.42. 46.42. That's a second 2-6 position. So we're slightly out of the money. Our average on UAL is sitting at 46.26. 46.26. Pinterest, we're still slightly out of the money. Pinterest, we're just slightly out of the money. UAL is trying to push. So our average on UAL is 46.26. That's our average. Let's take a look at the SPY. So our Newmont trade, we won, if we covered at 53, we made 44 cents per share. Pinterest is pushing up. We're going to add to our Pinterest short at the next level here, which is 26.78. $26.78. Add to pins. $26.78. I'm not filled yet. Come on, baby. Can even get it at 79 here. It's still pushing. It's still pushing. I'm not filled yet. 26.84 on pins. It's still pushing. Oh god, so slow. Distribution occur in the SPY. Pins is still pushing. Pins is still pushing. I'm not filled yet. Caterpillar's coming in, Boeing's coming in. Pins is still pushing higher. UAL, we're flat on the trade. Oh my goodness. So we're letting pins push a little bit higher. So I added to my pins short here. I should be filled at 26.95. Sorry, 27.01. I got filled at 27.01. 27.01. Pins is just popping. Wow. 27.01. Look at that. We were able to nail the high. Patience on pins. And we almost nailed the exact high. Right now our average is sitting at, I'll get you my average in 2 seconds on pins. While my broker adjusts. So our average is 26.65 on pins. 26.65. I'll bring that up. Sitting around right there. Let's take a look at UAL. We're slightly out of the money on UAL. That's okay. But look at this extension move on pins. You've had, on the daily chart, you've had an awesome move. 1, 2, 3, 4 positive days in a row. Could be trying to come up to this resistance. Spiders are potentially putting in some resistance. See if there's another trend line here we can use on UAL or on pins. So you have a small resistance level there. Basically connecting the most amount of pivot tops, and you can see pins is trying to come up into that level. So we're still out of the money on pins. We're just basically out of the money on UAL as well. Spiders are remaining strong. Let's see what energy is doing. Natural gas has had a nice pop. You're starting to see some potential distribution occur. So pins is continuing to push. Pins is continuing to push. So you can't see the chart. So the spiders are coming in sharp now. Spiders are coming in very, very sharp. We're just trying to get our screen back up. We're having a little bit of technical difficulties, but that's okay. We're still making money. We're still able to get you winning trades. Look at that rollover in Newmont. Wow. Wow. It's the life of a trader. The life of a trader. What's even showing? Nothing. So the spiders are coming in a little bit right now. Gold's coming in. Bitcoin's still hovering. So we're back in it again. Pins is still slightly off our level, but coming in. So our average on UAL is 46.43. Sorry, 46.26 is our average.
Coming up, a White House news conference coming up at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Fed speak from
Pins is still pushing.
On Thursday, that'll follow the US CPI report and another round of jobless claims. Then we just get the earnings deluge from the big banks. JP Morgan, Bank of America, Citi, Wells Fargo, all kicking off bank earnings on Friday. Then we'll hear from Goldman and Morgan Stanley next Tuesday before we close out the week. We'll get the UMich Consumer Sentiment Survey as well. Can I just round things out with the recession debate? Neil Dutter of Renmac published...
We're going to short SWBI. SWBI. Smith & Wesson. SWBI. Actually, we're not going to short SWBI. The volume's way too thin today. Way too thin of a volume. So we'll avoid that one. But we're still short pins. We're still short UAL, which are pushing up higher at the moment. So Pinterest, we're going to add at 27.36. 27.36. Spiders are trying to come in a little bit more. Pinterest is coming in. Pinterest is coming in. Let's check UAL. So UAL, we're slightly out of the money. But that's okay. We have plenty of maneuverability on these positions. That's the beautiful thing. That is the beautiful thing. That if the spiders come in hard and fill this technical gap to the downside here, just go to the 15-minute just to see. So you can see there's a potential technical gap. We have not confirmed a break above this key resistance. So let's just continue to see that. Pinterest is coming in sharp. We potentially have a 10-minute topping tail on Pinterest. So let's just see how that plays out. So 10 cent has had a pretty decent fall today, down 3%. We got BABA down. Pins is trying to come in. Let's look at adding to UAL short. 46.66, 46.66. Let's flip back to UAL. So 46.66 is the next add level to our short, which I will put right there. Great move on UAL. It has been a stellar move. And usually at the top of markets near turn, you're seeing the likes of Carvana, BBBY, Bed Bath & Beyond. They're making these massive moves to the upside. AMC, another one. All these meme stocks are moving substantially higher. Substantially higher. AMC's up 15%. Carvana's up 24%. So these massive moves on these stocks. Lucid. So all the spec money seems to be coming back into the market. Generally that signifies a near-term potential cycle top. Pinterest is coming in hard as well. Pinterest is coming in decently. So let's continue to watch that. Apple's coming in fairly decently now, almost making new intraday lows. Nvidia's weak, so semis are weak. Microsoft remains strong. Tesla remains strong. So we're seeing weakness in Coca-Cola, which is a little bit of a concern considering that's a major safety defensive play. Right now we're still just short Pinterest as well as UAL. Pinterest is coming in hard now, much harder. Pinterest is coming in much harder now, which is good to see. I think on our Pinterest trade we can potentially look for about 40 to 50 cents. 40 to 50 cents. So we just have one trade winner in the books. We're still short two others. Get ready to add to our UAL short. Anything above 46.65. Anything above 46.65. Tilray's having a good move today. The likes of marijuana stocks, CGC's having a decent day as well. So Pinterest is still trying to float with this area. Dollar remains weak, yields are down. Carvana's still up substantially. A lot of the meme stocks. Amazon's having a decent move. Amazon's up 3.5%. Wow. Amazon's another interesting one. Get ready to add to UAL. UAL is actually approaching higher. So it hasn't hit that. It hit the high was 62 cents. So it's coming very, very close. into our trade level. Pins is just hovering there still, so nothing to do there at the moment. Home builders are strong today. Energy starting to potentially roll over. The likes of Exxon's coming in hard. Natural gas is coming down. Oil still remains strong on the session. The SPY is just putting in distribution. UAL is trying to go up a little bit higher now. $46.65 is the level. $46.65. $46.65. So Tesla's making a new intraday high, showing some continued strength. Pushing up, come on, one last final push on UAL would get us a beautiful, beautiful third entry. A third entry. So here it comes, get ready. 65, 64, 64 cent. Missed it by 1 penny. That's okay. We may get another push because the SPY is trying to push up. So just get ready. Just get ready. So it's going to be our third 6 position, 3-6. Hasn't hit there yet, but the SPY is remaining strong. UNG's coming back down again. Spiders are pushing back up again on the session. You are at decent resistance though. Many stocks are hitting decent resistance. 62 cents on pins. Let's go. Anything above 65. A pierce of 65 is the level on UAL. Sorry, on UAL. 46.65 or higher. Let's try to get that. Let's be patient. We've been patient. Let's see if we can get it. It's pushing up. The SPY's pushing up, so it may hit that level. 63, get ready. It's just teetering with that level. I'm going to add here 46.62, 46.62. Just got filled at 46.62, 46.62 short UAL. So that's a 3-6 position. Average on UAL is 46.36. 46.36. Pinterest, we're just slightly out of the money. Pinterest, we're just slightly out of the money. Average on Pinterest is 26.66. 26.66. The spiders are coming in a little bit now. Spiders are still coming in. Pinterest, we're slightly out of the money. UAL, we're slightly out of the money. So Pinterest is still trying to come in. Still remaining near the highs. Let's flip back to pins. Slightly out of the money. That's okay. UAL is pushing up even higher now. What a move on UAL. That's truly impressive. So UAL actually just filled a technical gap at 46.42 there. So you're into some decent resistance now on UAL. Spiders are nearing the higher of the day. Pinterest is still coming out. Apple's pushing, so it's likely going to lift the SPY. Tesla's pushing. Microsoft's pushing. We're still just monitoring things here, letting the trades do their thing. Letting the trades do their thing. Pinterest is trying to push up again. Markets are remaining strong. There's a little bit of weakness though still remaining in the market. Still healthcare's weak, likes of AbbVie. Gilead seeing a little bit of weakness. Nike's strong on the session. Caterpillar seeing a little bit of weakness. Boeing still remains strong. UAL's pushing up, so the next ad level on UAL will be 46.82. 46.82. UAL is now up 1.97% on the session. You're seeing the dollar trying to creep up. So this is what could be a little bit of a roadblock for the markets moving forward if the dollar continues to move higher. So 46.82 is the next ad level on UAL. We're slightly out of the money. Spiders are trying to uptick. Still seeing money flowing into the meme stocks. BBBY is up 32% now. Carvana is up 26%. So you're still seeing money flow into this market, chasing these moves higher, which is pretty crazy. UAL's now had 40 minutes of continued upside. Even after yesterday's session, you have now 7 green candles in a row on UAL. That's impressive. Nonetheless, Amazon's up over 4%. That's potentially another short trade. I'm not going to take it right now, but Amazon at these levels, 93.62, you could short 93.62. Look for about 50 cents on Amazon. It's coming in now. UAL's coming in, Pins is coming in. Energy's trying to roll over. UAL seeing a little bit of weakness now. Just flip to the 5-minute UAL. Pins is still hovering. Taking a look at the SPY, it's still just consolidating, potentially putting in some bullish consolidation. But we shall see. Don't put too much stock into this movement ahead of the CPI. CPI could drastically change things ahead of the report. So you're still seeing a little bit of weakness in China stocks, starting to creep in now as the Yang ETF comes off of its lows. We may have to hold UAL overnight, but that's more than okay in my books, considering it's had a substantial run. You know, when you look at UAL's daily chart, look at that epic move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 green days in a row. Let's see the resistance we're hitting. Right over there. So UAL could push a little bit higher on the daily, but it's into some decent resistance. You filled this major technical gap, which is where our average sits. UAL is trying to push back up again. So Pins is starting to come a little bit lower now. UAL's had a great move. Pins is coming in. So on Pins we could look for down to support would be there. Could look for 40 cents on pins, 40 to 50 cents on pins. UAL is continuing to push, so get ready. Anything above 46.80 we can add to UAL. Anything above 46.80. And this is interesting to see airlines doing so well when you had that negative news announcement about the FAA grounding all of the flights in New York and many in the States. Even as oil's up too, that's interesting to see airlines being strong, at least UAL. UAL is almost there. Anything above 46.80 we can add to our short. It's at 46.70. I think it almost hit that level. No, it was 1 penny shy. 1 penny shy on UAL. But anything at 46.80 looks like we may have just missed that level. That's okay. Gold's coming in, silver's coming in. Yields are down on the session today. Yields are down. Long end yields, I should say, are down. UAL might get one more push up. Let's just start to see. Still seeing strength in Apple trading near the highs. Microsoft's trading near the highs. UAL's putting in a potential topping tail. 10-minute topping tail. Potential topping tail on UAL. So we're seeing Caterpillar come down pretty hard. Big Dow component likely putting pressure, as well as Coke. But UAL's the standout. Tesla making a strong move to 124. Awesome move on Tesla. It's up to 124 now. Wow. Pinterest is now coming in. Pinterest is now coming in. We're almost in the money on Pinterest. I think we can look to squeeze 50 cents out of Pinterest. We should see some late day selling occurring here. That's what you're seeing in the market leaders. You're starting to see some money distribution occurring, and that's probably ahead of the CPI as people move more defensive. SPY's coming in, so we're almost flat on our pin trade. We are almost flat on our Pinterest trade. So Pinterest is coming in a little bit more now. 10-minute potential topping tail on UAL. 10-minute potential topping tail. Tesla still remaining near the highs of the day. Caterpillar's coming in nicely now. Caterpillar's coming in nicely. You could potentially short Tesla here, but again, remember Tesla's been beaten down. There is resistance up in this area. But it's looking like Tesla wants to continue to push higher. Apple's remaining near the highs of the day. UNG still under pressure. UNG is still under pressure. So we're still just waiting patiently on these trades. Still seeing weakness in Caterpillar. It's pulled off the highs substantially, which is good to see considering we're shorting. Pinterest is still just doing its thing here. The SPY is consolidating. Potentially trying to put in bullish consolidation to move higher. Exxon's down. Home builders remain strong. UAL is pulling back a little bit more, so we're almost in the money. 46. Let me just adjust my average here. 46.36 is the key. Tesla still remains strong, up on the session, having a nice 3-bar surge into resistance. HCA, so continued weakness potentially occurring in healthcare. Coke's breaking a major trend line. UAL is continuing to come in. Look at this drop on Newmont. Let's just see what... Remember shorting Newmont? Look at that drop. Beautiful. I mean, we covered at 53 over here, but it's dropped more. What a substantial move. And why? If you look at just a little bit of education here, since we're just waiting on a couple of our trades, but it's funny that it's actually not showing on this chart hitting the 200, but my other one does. So let's just adjust this moving average. Inputs. Simple. Offset. Close. Interesting. I wonder why the presets are different. Anyways, but the reason why I shorted this level on Newmont is because gold was into major resistance. Newmont actually on my other chart did hit the 200 daily moving average, which is just showing that it's just slightly missed here. But even if you look at gold, we were seeing that massive resistance trend line. So whenever you're in a resistance level, the underlying asset often dictates the price flow of Newmont. And considering Newmont has had a amazing move off the lows, basically not too much consolidation, you should see a pullback back to this 48.66 level at the minimum. But great job on that run. We're still waiting on UAL. Pins is still pushing up. UAL is still trying to come in. Caterpillar's coming in nicely, so that's good to see. Right now there's not too much. Pinterest is actually doing a retrace higher. So let me just see if we can have any other levels on Pinterest. I'm going to add to Pinterest here again. Added to my Pinterest short at 2704. 2704. Added to Pinterest short. That is a 3-6 position. Sorry, that is a 4-6 position. So my average is sitting at 2673. 2673, and Pinterest is flying right now, popping higher. 2673 is the average. UAL is just hovering, but we did get a 10-minute topping tail, a little bit of reversal signal, potential reversal signal. Nothing's guaranteed, but we're sitting at 2673 on Pinterest. 2704. So the spiders are still trying to push up. Spiders are pushing up. Markets are catching a nice move. Healthcare still remains weak. Apple's pushing to new highs of day. The meme stocks are pulling back slightly. Energy stocks have come in a little bit. Pinterest is still just hovering. Pinterest is still just hovering, but the SPY is putting in some consolidation. Tesla is flying. Let's just take a look at Tesla. There may be a short trade on Tesla. There may be a short trade. Now it's much high risk. Much high risk. And this is obviously coming on the back of their Indonesia plant. Lots of bullish momentum coming in. That Tesla is near ready to open up their Indonesia plant, which would help roughly, I believe I read this morning, about 1 million extra vehicle production. So that's obviously a substantial amount of production that could come online. We're just going to cut to see what Bloomberg says about Tesla here.
Could fall through, but it is kind of making sense, right? And I believe that the Indonesia's investment minister told my colleagues in Asia, or confirmed that the talks are taking place and that they're being handled by a specific agency. So it seems like very early days, but it's building on an existing relationship, and it is in line with what Tesla has said about its long-term ambitions.
Ed, quick comments on Apple. It seems that every day this week we've had a news story about the fact that Apple is taking yet another component in-house. This time I understand it's screens, which is going to hit Samsung. How long before they do it all?
Yeah, so fantastic reporting from Bloomberg's Mark Gurman. According to Bloomberg sources, as soon as the end of 2024, starting with the high-end Apple Watch, Apple could move away from LG and Samsung and start doing the displays itself. This is about transition from OLED to micro LED. LG has...
Apple's making a new high of day, pushing and ripping. Apple is making a new high of day. It is ripping and pushing much higher. Interesting to see. If Apple continues to push, we may have a double top short zone. Now it's still a couple dollars away from that level. Tesla as well. If Tesla gets another push up on the 5-minute, we can short Tesla. So far we're just still waiting on UAL. We're waiting on pins. But if Tesla gets another push up, Tesla's up 5.6% on the session. 5.6%. The reason why I think I want to short Apple and Tesla is because we're seeing weakness in the Dow components. So we're maybe seeing money rotation occurring. But definitely weakness coming into some of the Dow components. And the reason why the Dow is trying to hold is because of Apple alone. So if Tesla gets another push up, we're going to short Tesla. Looking for a pierce of 126. A pierce of 126. This is a high risk because Tesla is beaten down. We'll have to remember the fall from grace it's had. So lighten up your share size. But we're going to do a short on Tesla, a pierce of 126. Spiders are trying to inch up as the dollar falls. Apple's remaining exceptionally strong near the highs of the session. Tesla's pushing for that 126 potential. Pins is pulled off our last short level. UAL is still waiting on us. But a pierce of 126 is the level. Almost there, 25 cents away, 26 cents away on Tesla. Let's see if we can get another push up. Yields are remaining, long end yields are remaining down. The dollar is down. But it's interesting to see the dollar down on the session. And what is gold doing? Gold is also down. So it's a little bit of a negative relationship that we're witnessing there. Usually the dollar is up, gold is down. Usually when the dollar's down, gold is up. But we're not seeing that today. So we're still just waiting on Tesla. Tesla did not hit our 126, but you can see sell pressure is coming in. Now, this candle has 1 minute and 46 seconds left. We still could potentially short it, but it has to hit in this candle. If it doesn't hit in this candle, we have to readjust our level a little bit higher. UAL and pins are just trading sideways, not really doing much. Let's flip back to UAL. Just stuck over there. Pins also just stuck, but above our last short level, so we're almost in the money. So Tesla, we're gonna have to readjust our Tesla level if we want to short that again. A pierce of 126. Let me just look on my other chart here. $126.80. So 126.25 is the new short level on Tesla, but it has to hit in the next 10 minutes. Market's still remaining fairly strong today. So that Tesla trade may be out of the picture. But we could still hit it. It could still happen. But it is looking like it's pulling off. So there goes the Tesla trade. We'll scratch that one out of the books. Let's take a look at Apple. And the markets are looking still strong because the spiders really haven't moved off of the highs. So I was looking for a potential double top short on Apple. Obviously it did not transpire at this moment in time. Just want to draw a trend line here on Apple just for my peace of mind. It's something I'm maybe seeing here. A potential resistance on Apple. Boom. You can see, look at that resistance trend line that we just noticed. Pivot to pivot. This is your breakdown area on Apple, and you tag that resistance to a T. Too bad we didn't see that before, but that's okay. So Tesla's coming in now. Apple's coming in. Let's flip back to the SPY. So UAL's trying to come in as well. The SPY is also coming in. Pins. Pinterest is coming in a little bit harder now. So we're just waiting on these two trades. We're short pins and short UAL. We have one trade in the book, banked Newmont Mining short today. Right now we have Bed Bath Beyond BBBY, just insane move. This is the blow off tops that usually occur. Massive short squeeze. I mean, when you factor in that this company was just announced that it was potentially going bankrupt, oh my goodness, what a move. What a move. Now there might be a potential short trade here, but this is like rip your face off dangerous because of how these stocks move. I mean, even up 52%, you can see that it's still substantially down on the year. So that's why we have to be very, very mindful about these potential stocks going parabolic. But at the right level, we will short anything if it gives us the signal. Basically, I will only feel comfortable at 362, maybe, depending on how it gets in that level and depending on the market backdrop. So we'll put a notification here at 355 to potentially short at 362. You can see that it is pushing. Lots of liquidity flowing in, which is pretty crazy, these meme stocks. I mean, up 55% right now. That's insanity. Carvana's up 23. Wow. Semis are still weak. So that's a little bit of an indicator for the market. But it's good that we have one trade in the books. The Dow is still potentially trying to go negative. Apple's the last Dow component that's keeping it up. Look at this BBBY. Let's go to the 5-minute chart just to see what we have going on. Look at those candles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 green candles in a row. The spider's coming down, so UAL is coming down. We're almost in the money on UAL. So I think we can easily squeeze 50 cents or sorry, 30 cents out of UAL. Easily squeeze 30 cents out of UAL. Let me just check for a bigger support level. So actually UAL could probably come back to this pivot high zone where we could potentially look to cover. So BBBY is pushing, guys. BBBY is pushing. We may have a trade set up here. Just see the weekly chart, make sure if there's any resistance levels approaching. So yeah, there's no real resistance levels there. But look at that move on BBBY. We may not even get shares available to short BBBY. So let's just keep that in mind. Often a lot of brokerages will limit what shares they borrow to people just based off of the insane volatility in these meme stocks. Often is the case that they don't even want their clients to have any exposure to these crazy meme stocks, because then what's to say if the short trade goes wrong on our end and we can't actually cover it. So sometimes they don't even like to give out those shares to borrow. But it's up 62%. $130 million market cap, which is why it's pumping. $130 million in the grand scheme of the stock market is nothing. So it's funny how Bloomberg is now discussing the metals. They're talking about the metals and copper just where we're into major resistance and at a near-term top. Let's look at pins again. Pins is coming in nicely. We're almost in the money on our pins trade. You can see that trade's coming in. UAL is still hovering near the highs. SPY is trying to come in. But let's keep pins on the radar. Let's keep that BBBY on the radar. So BBBY is pushing. BBBY is pushing, but the SPY is falling apart now. SPY is testing the lows of day. The SPY is testing the lows of day, making new lows. So that should help our pins short. Get ready to cover our pins short because this thing could drop pretty quickly. UAL, Tesla's fallen, Apple's falling from grace, Amazon's falling. The dollar has not even moved. So this sell-off is occurring as the dollar hasn't even moved or budged. So what this tells me is that there is fear creeping into the market just based off of probably the CPI tomorrow. So pins, we're now flat on the pins trade. Hopefully we can go 2 of 3 and then eventually that UAL come in. Boeing's weak. The Dow has gone now almost negative. So pins is still showing some weakness. We're now in the money on our pin trade. Let's see if we can get another flush on the spiders. I think what would take the spiders down is a potential dollar top. UNG, I just got a little alert on UNG. UNG new lows of day. You could day trade this UNG level, that's for sure. It's certainly an interesting level to potentially day trade. I'm long UNG right now as a swing, full disclosure. UNG is making new lows. Pins is catching a little bit of a bounce. UNG is continuing to go down. This is at a major technical support on UNG. I'm actually Going to add to my swing trade here at UNG. I'm not going to day trade it, but I will swing it. Add a little bit more because it's an epic technical level. So I added to my UNG at 11:30, 11:30. So the SPY is catching a little bit of bid. Caterpillar's still showing weakness. Pins is still showing weakness. UAL is still showing some strength. Just typing in my swing trade alert to my other members. 1% add. So UNG is a great swing level, great day trade level. Honestly, both could work out. 11:30 or 11:29 is where I added. So we're into an epic level of support. Right now, there's no movement on UAL. It's still remaining relatively strong on the session. But most things have pulled off the highs, even BBBY. Look at that pull off. I mean, we were so close. This is the thing about being patient. We were so close. We were about, what is this? 21 cents away from hitting our level, and we could have had basically a pullback from that level, a 9% pullback. So again, that would have been an awesome day trade, but we didn't get it at this point in time. Just have to be patient. Spiders are still catching a little bit of a bid. Pins were in the money. It's breaking that level nicely. Let's see if pins can actually come in. So pins would be interesting if you completely give up this move here, which it's possible. It's certainly possible. Let's just continue to watch pins. UNG's going even lower. Wow, 1107. Wow. I made day trade Boyle. Let me just line up my levels here. Natural gas is crashing. I'm going long Boyle. Long Boyle. We're going to day trade natural gas. Long Boyle. 1050. Let's see if I got filled. 1051 on Boyle. Boyle's a levered ETF to natural gas, so be careful. It's dropping. It's dropping. Natural gas is literally crashing right before our eyes. Holy. Wow. Wow, natural gas is falling sharp. 1042. Don't know what's going on, but it is nuts. Okay, I'm going to add to my Boyle ETF if we get a pierce of 1015. 1015. Wow, what a collapse on natural gas. Pierce of 1015 will add to our natural gas, Boyle, levered ETF, but this is crazy price action in natural gas. Tesla's collapsing. Let's flip back to the other ones. Pins is still down. Catching a little bit of a bounce here. but still way oversold. Most likely someone probably got liquidated there. What a drop. 1051 is our average on Boyle. Boyle is down 7.2% on the session. Boyle's catching a nice bid. Boyle is catching a bid. Exxon's rolling over, which is to be expected. UAL still remaining strong. Pins were slightly in the money. Boyle, we're flat on the trade now. We were long Boyle 1051. 1/6 position. It's a 2 times levered ETF to natural gas, so it moves insanely wild. Insanely wild. Natural gas. Someone must have got liquidated on natural gas, a big fund, wrong side of the trade, and that's probably what has caused this massive collapse and fall from grace. Or it's just the energy market pricing in weakening global demand. Finally, maybe the energy bulls are giving up. We shall see. Small bounce. What's this OSH? Oshkosh? Double top short on this OSH is okay, but I'm not going to do it. You can see this 3090 level is a pretty decent short, but I'm not going to do it. I'm going to add to my Boyle at 1015. 1015. We're approaching that Boyle level. We're approaching that other level. Get ready to potentially add. UAL is making a new high, so I'm going to add to that UAL short. 46.82. Let me just see if I can get my order filled. 46.81. Let me just see if I can. I'm not filled yet. I'm not filled yet. I just added to my UAL short at 46. I got filled at 46.85. 46.85. So higher than our initial add level. 46.85. So that's a 3/6 position on UAL. I'll tell you my average in a second. Let's flip back to Boyle. Boyle's catching a nice little bounce. UAL's at 46.87. It just keeps going. Just keeps going. UAL average is at 46.45. UAL, let's do that. So look at UAL, it's wanting that trend line. It's now touching that trend line of resistance on UAL. And Boyle's catching a nice little bounce. We're in the money on Boyle. So we added at 46.85. So our average is 46.46 on UAL. Boyle's catching a nice bounce. Boyle is catching a decent bounce. UAL is pushing up even higher as we go, because that's the spiders. The spiders are pushing up. Spiders are pushing up. There's also a downsloping trend line that UAL is just hitting. A downsloping trend line. So you have that upsloping, which I showed you about. And then if you look at the daily, which I'll just auto adjust this, we also have this beautiful, beautiful downsloping trend line now hitting. Look at those two resistance levels intersecting in that vicinity. We should see a pullback in UAL. It's going to be very difficult to blast through that resistance level on first shot and attempt. The spiders are still pushing up though. 46.94 on UAL. 46.94. We're flat on the Boyle trade. Pierce of 47 we're going to add to UAL. Pierce of 47. Pierce of 47. Boyle's still coming in. Lots of action happening in the natural gas space, that's for sure. Pierce of 47 on UAL gets us to add another position. Should see the 5 minute. But you're into tons and tons of resistance on UAL. Boyle, we're still basically flat on the trade. Pins were flat on the trade. Tesla's up but pulled off the highs. Semis maybe showing weakness. Cat's still weak. A lot of Dow components weak still today. The dollar could be popping here. Get ready to add to UAL if it pierces that 47 level. It's coming up as we speak. Oh, just missed that level. It just missed that level. Let's look at Boyle. Boyle's still the next add levels down here. And then we can even go to so we're still seeing some weakness in some of the China names. UEL remains strong. The spiders remains pretty much strong above that resistance. Oil still just remaining flat. So the collapse on natural gas was the fact that Kathy Hochul's latest brainstorm, she's the governor, wants to ban natural gas in all New York buildings. That is just insane. That is insanity. So we're still waiting on that on UAL. Could be pushing for that 47 level. Get ready to add. So that's why we saw that epic drop in natural gas. I'll just pull up the actual natural gas chart. That was the exact reason why. Thank you to my research team for finding that news. That fall from grace on natural gas was basically because the New York governor wants to potentially ban all natural gas, all the buildings in New York, all government buildings from using natural gas. So that is an extreme headline event that most likely won't happen, but it does scare a lot of people out in the short term. And considering that natural gas is into massive technical levels, it's just very odd that it comes at this point in time where it's probably designed to shake out a lot of people from their trades. So we're still long, obviously, and I have no problem accumulating. So for Boyle, we could look to exit our Boyle right here around for 50-cent gain at around $11. That would be an epic win in our pocket, or 49-cent gain, I should say. UAL remains strong. UAL remains strong. SPY's trying to consolidate. The dollar's pushing up. The dollar is pushing up. So this is where we could see some market weakness moving forward. Let's flip back to pins. Pins were still basically flat on the session. Hopefully we can close this trade in the next 15 minutes or so. But pins is seeing some weakness. The dollar is surging. The dollar is surging. The spiders are going to come in hard. Spider's going to come in hard with the dollar surging. Look at that dollar candle. Boom. Spider is going to react. Let's see if we can see a reaction. There's a 15-minute candle starting there on the spiders. UAL is pushing. Get ready to add to at 47. We're shorting an additional at 47 or 47 Pierce. The spiders is coming in hard. Just add to this. 46.99 on UAL. 46.99. We're almost at that 47. Pins, we're nice and deep in the money now. We got a 12-cent win on pins so far. UAL has not hit that level. Look at pins come in now. This is a good potential opportunity as the dollar continues to push. The spies come in. UAL has not hit that level yet, but very close. Very close. Boyle, we're getting a nice pop on Boyle. Look at this move. 11 is the sell, or 10.59 in around that area. Pins is coming in nice and sharp now. We are in the money nicely on pins. We're in the money 17 cents. Let's squeeze some more out. Let's squeeze some more out. Let's go pins. UAL's at 46.99. We need to see that pierce of 47. I think since it's hovering at 46.99 for so long, it's likely we see that pierce of 47. I'll let you know when I get filled on UAL. Have not been filled yet. Dollar's still surging. Cat's coming in. Tesla's coming in. Nvidia's showing weakness. Microsoft showing weakness. Apple's showing weakness. So we'll see what happens. UAL I'm filled 47.01. 47.01 filled. So that's a 4-6 position. My average on UAL is 46.54. 46.54. And look at that beautiful potential reversal candle starting. Pins is coming in nicely. Pins is coming in exceptionally nicely. Look at pins. Pins is coming in. Boyle, we're still in the money. So let's go. Let's try to go 4 for 4 today. 4 for 4 with TC live. Let's do it. UAL is still going. We're out of the money. That's okay. UAL should come in hard. It's going to be one of those last market moving ones. You're seeing a lot of the leaders now coming in sharply. The Dow has gone negative. Sorry, the Dow's almost gone negative. Spiders just made a new intraday low. Boyle may be coming in a little bit more now. We can still add to Boyle at this 10.16 level. That is a decent level to add to. Energy stocks are coming in hard now too. This is turning. This could be in for a nasty little day. This could be in for a nasty little day. Pins is coming in hard still. UAL just testing that last short level. So we have a 4-6 position in UAL. I'd like to get paid out in. We have a 4-6 position in pins. Right now we're in the money on pins. So we could see a beautiful, beautiful profit in our pocket. With already Newmont banked, we are in the driver's seat. Look at this beautiful topping tail potentially forming on UAL. Here we go. If we see another pop in the dollar, it should start giving way. We're seeing copper come in like FCX. Those copper plays, beautiful job on shorting FCX. So that one's working out well for us now. Light volume on the spiders right now. That's the only thing that could keep these markets buoyant, is the light volume. And that's probably just a lot of people are sitting on the sidelines waiting for that CPI result tomorrow. So that's the only thing that makes me skeptical of this market, is potentially the volume. The volume trends are anemic. Anemic. We're still seeing the weakness in some of the pharmaceutical names. We're seeing weakness in AstraZeneca, HCA, ISRG. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Nvidia's coming in hard. Tesla's coming in hard. So the spiders should continue to move lower. Look at UAL coming in now. That was a good ad level. That was a great ad level. So we're just slightly out of the money on UAL. It'll be nice if we can get a top on this candle on UAL. Exxon's getting destroyed right now. The natural gas move. Spiders are still catching a little bit of a bid. The dollar's surging. New intraday high on the dollar from its initial bottoming formation. UAL is looking to put in a potential 10-minute topping tail. It'll be good. We still have a minute left. So far it is a little bit of a doji signal. There's the 10-minute top on UAL. It's forming as we speak. This is a 15-minute chart, but on the 10-minute chart, which I prefer to trade on my other screens, is coming in. Now Tesla's coming in hard. Tesla actually has a potential hourly topping tail. Let's see that BBBY. That's pulled off the high substantially. Gold's come in nicely. Newmont's come in nicely. How's Bitcoin doing? Let's touch base on Bitcoin. So Boyle's still just lingering there, which means that there's still funds most likely in trouble. Let's look up BTC, USD. So it's pushing now the 11 o'clock time frame. We're going to have to call this stream to an end very shortly here. Hopefully we can get one more flush down on Bitcoin. Look at our positions. Bitcoin's under some nice pressure. Let's flip to the daily just to see a larger perspective. Sell side pressure coming in on Bitcoin. Look at those hourly candles. It's nasty. 10-minute topping tail or reversal signal on UAL has been confirmed. What you usually get is a 50 to 75% retrace. And then the downside should commence. But the SPY is catching a little bounce as the dollar has pulled. But the dollar's actually closed above a big reversal candle. So we're slightly out of the money on Boyle. But that's okay. It's so oversold natural gas that I do have a lot of faith in this trade, and it's one that I am okay holding overnight. But in terms of Boyle, we'll look to sell it around the $11 mark. In terms of UAL, we will look for about 30 to 50 cents on UAL from our entry. So we could look for about a move down to 46.25 or about $46. Anywhere between 46.25 and 46 should be a good level to basically cover that UAL short. Tesla's coming in. Cat's still coming in. That's good to see. We are short. Cat's almost made a bearish engulfing daily candle. That'll be beautiful if that occurs. So we're in the money on pins, although it is catching a little bit of a boost. Light volume. Dollar's still pushing up, so this is probably just temporary until it gets pushed back down. Let's look at the SPY. SPY. SPY hourly looks to be wanting to come to this gap fill. That's probably where our trades will coincide with a cover right at that gap fill at 390.63. So about another dollar away on the SPY. Looks pretty likely that it should get there today. That's been the overall consensus whenever we see that gap and crack. That's usually what is happening. Just flip back to the 5-minute. So we're basically flat on pins, just out of the money on Boyle. As the dollar continues to push up, it's gone positive on the session as we speak.
Where have you been? What's been going on? Why did you leave me on my own?
I know. I'm so sorry. Internal panel. You're on a need-to-know basis.
Okay. Okay, need-to-know basis. I'm kind of thinking this is the Alex Steele board. I'm thinking that this is something that you could be responsible for. Maybe not directly, but I think you're part of a
So
team.
here comes the retrace on UAL. This 5-minute reversal candle did engulf that previous 5-minute candle on volume, so that's good to see that there are sellers lurking there. Markets are catching a little bit of a bid as the dollar softens. We'll stay with you guys for another 10 minutes. Basically another 2 10-minute candles.
They are
4 or 5 minutes.
incredible. The market seems to be getting very
And then we'll
excited
call
about
this
the
stream
European consumer once again.
to an end. But so far we banked one winner on Newmont short, and we're holding these 2 shorts, and 1 long play. Markets are just slightly floating up, so the volume has dried up a little bit. The big question is, will we see some potential weakness into the market close ahead of the CPI? That's potentially a possibility. UAL is pushing up, retracing most of that candle. So UAL's back at the highs of the session, retesting that 47.01 area. Let's see if it can get through that area or if that's resistance. So you've had the retrace. This is now where this topping tail has to hold, this reversal candle has to hold. If it doesn't hold, UAL will likely continue to see some upside, probably to about 42.20, your next big resistance. But that's the level to beat right now. It's amazing. On UAL on the hourly chart, you've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 hours, 12 straight hours of upside on UAL. So we are extended. Let's flip back to the Bloomberg just to see what's going on.
They really are. Christmas was not the turkey that everyone expected. The worry is that that pain hasn't disappeared. It's just been deferred. So it looks too far.
So you're not a buyer of the buying?
No. I think the worst is still to come. I think the next few months will be very difficult. That spending over Christmas has got to be paid for. Much of it will have been on credit cards, buy now, pay later. Plus, you've got some more energy bills to come through. The hope is that as we get further through the year, inflation comes down. Yep. Perhaps that gives people a little bit of leeway. So maybe things will be better as we go through the year.
So to sum things up, we're going to end this live stream and we'll be with you in the afternoon. But so far we're short UAL, we're short pins, we're flat on pins, out of the money on UAL, slightly in the money on Boyle. We're looking to sell our Boyle at around 11. We're also looking to exit our UAL anywhere between 46 and 46.25. So it's about a 50 or a 30 cent gain, 30 to 40 cent gain. Pins, we're slightly in the money here, or out of the money. We're looking to cover around 26.22-ish area. So about a 40 to 50 cent gain we're looking on pins. So a gain of 30 to 40 cents on UAL, a gain of 40 to 50 cents on pins, and a gain of about 40 to 50 cents on Boyle. So I've given you my targets, my outlines. In terms of UAL, we have 2 more add positions. I will put that up on the chart. The next add would be at 47.20 on UAL and 47.40. So basically in 20 cent increments, we'll add more. In terms of pins, since we're consolidating now, I would likely have to add around this 27.46 area. Okay, that would be the next add level. In terms of Boyle, we got at least 2 add levels down here, 10.16, 9.80, and then a third one would be around this 9.41 level. Okay, so that sums it up for the trades. We will check back in the afternoon. Congratulations on 1 winner under the belt. I do think that it's likely we see these trades come into play as well for us, just probably a little bit later in the market session. But awesome job in today's session, and we will see you for the afternoon close. Take care, everybody, and congrats on the Newmont short.